What's going on, you guys? Laxo here again. Alright guys, so today we are going to be taking a look at Aizen and Noel again. This is going to be part 2. Unfortunately, last time I didn't have the strongest Aizen to compare, so this time we're going to be taking a look at a different Aizen. I'm going to be taking a look at my friend Penny here. We're going to take a look at his Aizen, which is a 5-star, and then we're also going to be taking a look at a 7-star Aizen as well. We're going to be showing you a couple battles of Aizen, then we'll maybe show you one or two of Noel, and then I will get into their kits and a couple things about it, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on it. And you guys can let me know in the comment section, of course, what you guys think. And once again, description below, you'll have all the timestamps. Feel free to skip around to wherever you'd like. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look here at the first Aizen we're looking at. Looks like he's going to have 277k attack, 254k power, crit chance is at 57k. Or I'm sorry, 57%, and damage rate is 62.5. As you can see, he has Warsaw Azure and Soaring on as well. Alright, let's go ahead and hop into these battles here real quick. Alright, so we're going to be showing you this battle here. It is, usually this guy ends up in the top 10, and we have Penny, who is also usually in the top 10. Last season he was rank 1. So we're going to be showing you his Aizen here. Alright, so this is actually a 10-round battle, so I'm going to be trying to get through it as fast as I can because this is a really long battle. I'm going to be showing you just a bunch of damage numbers and going through Aizen's kit as well. Alright, so first thing, we're going to get a Aizen Rage. Looking at 1.7 mil. And also, please note that the front row of Green Lantern over here, which is this guy right here, is kind of squishy. He has Orihime up there, which is actually pretty strong. Let's turn down that a little bit. But he also has Nell and Nemu, which are actually pretty squishy characters, so he is going up against a pretty squishy front line. Alright, so here we are, round 2. Looks like we're going to get another attack from Aizen. So this should max his stacks of Butterfly Wings. So at this point, he has max increase, pretty much attack stats. So at this point, he has max stacks of Butterfly Wings. You should be seeing really crazy numbers at this point. As you saw, I'm pretty sure it was 3.7 mil there, which is very good. So alright, unfortunately it took several rounds for him to rage again because his rage gen is a little slow. Yes, he does get the rage regen from his Butterfly Wings, but it is a little slow. So we finally got another rage attack out of him 5th round. Unfortunately no crits, but we're looking at 3.1 mil damage. So with crits it would have been around 6 mil if he had actually gotten crits. Once again, Butterfly Aizen, that's one thing that he's lacking. I've tried to stress last video that that's what he is lacking, is he's lacking crit. Alright, so we're going to be able to see one more attack out of Aizen here. Once again, this is going to be at full power. And even Ulquiorra is stealing all their defense. So 2.8 mil. That is what we're seeing from a 5-star Aizen. I feel like with an Aizen, with a Butterfly Aizen on your team, you're probably going to need, it's probably mandatory for you to have a character like Nini, where she could, help you with your crit and reduce the enemy's crit resist chance. So, just a note. Alright, so in this battle we're going to be checking out a 7-star Butterfly Aizen. Looks like he has Warsaw Balance, so you get the extra attack and extra 25, actually only 20% rage damage out of this, and you get an extra 20% crit chance. Let's go ahead and take a look at this battle. Alright, so here we go. Looks like Aizen is going to get 1 stack of Butterfly Wings to start, so he's already at 3 stacks. And also note that this Aizen probably has around a 75% crit chance. So this is going to be definitely an ideal best case scenario for Aizen. Like, absolute best case scenario. And if you look on the enemy team, he has two pretty squishy characters as well that Aizen actually counters. So this battle here should be an absolute one-sided fight for Aizen. He's going to have 3 stacks of butterfly wings right here. So this should do a lot of damage. Oh, that's right, he also has characters on his team that reduces the enemy's defense as well. So this team actually is pretty interesting because he has it built completely around Aizen. Alright. 3.4 mil. That is with 1 crit and going against 2 characters that he counters. So that is a 7-star, almost, that was a 3 stacks of butterfly wings, almost max stacks of butterfly wings Aizen. If we can get another rage attack off here, then we'll be able to see what absolute max Aizen can do to the other team. Alright, so here we go, one more rage attack. 4.1 mil, and that was against 2 targets, so it would have done about 6 mil. Roughly 6 mil at max stacks of butterfly wings. I don't think we're going to see another rage here from Aizen though. We might. Alright, looks like we're going to see one more attack here from Aizen. Boom, 2.8 mil. That was a back row attack, so they're even squishier. Alright, we're going to take one more quick look here at one more battle. Once again, this is a really squishy front line that the enemy has here, so please note that this is also once again going back to the 5-star Aizen. So this should do some pretty good damage. Unfortunately, he only has around, I think, 57-58% crit chance, but unless he does have a couple Worsels that do help him out. Alright, so it looks like we're going to get one more mastery skill from Aizen here. So I believe since Aizen had his mastery skill last time, next time Aizen rages, he should have max stacks on butterfly wings, so it should do max damage. Right, here we go, extremely squishy front row, 2 crits. 3.6 mil, max stacks on butterfly wings, double crits, squishy front row. That is pretty much as good as you're going to get from comparing a 5-star Noel to a 5-star Aizen. Alright, looks like we're going to get another rage here out of Aizen. So we'll go ahead and skip that. Alright, here we go. We're going to get one more attack out of Aizen here. This one, once again, is at full stacks. And it's against a back row. So only 1.5 mil on that one. So giving us 30% more damage would probably put us around 2 mil with crits. We're probably looking at maybe 4 mil, 4.5 mil tops out of 3 crits, back row, max stacks of butterfly Aizen. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and move on to Noel here. Unfortunately, I only have one battle to show you with Noel because time is kind of running on here. And I don't want the video to be too long. But let's see here. Okay, so fresh out of the gate, Noel is going to hit for 2.3 mil, so it's not bad. And once again, she actually doesn't have any set. Actually, she does have setup. She has Sogyo over there, but that is one thing I was seeing in the last couple battles. Was that the butterfly Aizens we were seeing didn't really have very much setup at all. They were kind of just going in there as is. So that is a note for people that are trying to have, you know, good team comps set up around front row attackers, is try and have a good team comp that'll reduce the enemy's defense or multiply your damage. I really think that is a good setup because, especially if you're attacking the front row, if that's your target. I mean, then again, Noel does have some really good pen. Alright, let's see what we have here. 2 crits, we're looking at 3.4 mil for 2 crits. So that is definitely a note to make, is try and put some kind of defense reduction on your team. With Noel right now, I have Warsoul the Eye, so we do get a little bit extra defense reduction on her kit. Also, she has a lot of defense reduction built into her rage, so definitely need that when you run Noel, especially because you get the extra dot, or you get the extra tick of damage when you actually reduce the enemy's defense, or have some kind of defense reduction. Actually, we have an Aizen right here going off. 2.3 mil, that was actually max stats on Butterfly Wings right there, because he did rage earlier, so that is what we have for that. Let's go ahead and see what Noel can do here. Looks like she's only going to hit one target, most likely. Unless we can get some damage here. Will the fan hit the front row? Yes, Tricked is in the front row. Okay, let's see what we're going to get here from Noel. So 1 target, so 1.5 targets is going to be 800k. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and move on here. Alright, so here we are. Let's go ahead and start with Aizen here. So Aizen, of course, when he uses his mastery skill, he gets 1 stack of actual butterfly wings, and he also gets the crit chance, crit damage, but we're looking at the rage skill right now. Okay, so the rage skill here, he needs 4 stacks of butterfly wings max, and each stack he gets 12% damage rate, and he also gets a butt ton of damage here. Let's go ahead and check this out. So deals damage to the front row plus additional equal to 25% of Aizen's attack multiplied by the number of stacks Butterfly Aizen has. So that would be an extra 100% if he has 4 stacks. So he'd have a 100% extra attack and an extra 48% damage rate. So at max stacks, what we're looking at is just raw damage. He also ignores block chance. Block pierce is what he gets from it as well. So at max stacks, he's pretty much looking to destroy anything he touches with raw damage. No real pen, just raw damage. So one thing that you might want to run on him is actual pen and crit, because unfortunately he just doesn't have very much crit. As you can see, we have about 51% base crit right here on Aizen. So that's Aizen. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here at Noel. Okay, so Noel is actually quite the opposite of Aizen. Aizen just gives you raw power. Let's see what we get with Noel. So we get base crit, 30% extra crit chance off of her mastery skill. From her rage now. Her rage is what is a killer. Deals damage to the enemy front row. This ignores 25% of the target's damage reduction rate and 40% defense, and has 30% increased crit chance. So we're not getting a extra ton of attack from Noel. We're just getting a bunch of, defense penetration, defense reduction. She also, however, does get a little bit of the percentage damage as well, which also really, really helps out. So what we see with Noel is just pure penetration. If we can get her base attack really, really high, which she actually does have a pretty high base stat for attack, we can do a ton of damage with her. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at her passive here. This is where we get the, as I said before, we get the extra tick, we get the extra little dot of damage. When the enemy has some kind of defense reduction on them, you get that extra 60% damage of attack tick. So that does help out quite a bit. Not a ton, but it does do a little bit extra damage. Let's see here. What else? We get a little bit of crit chance as well, and attack. So that'll actually help out her mastery skill, but not really her rage. So what we're getting with Noel is just pure defense reduction and defense penetration. Once again, with Aizen, we're getting the complete opposite. We're just getting raw power. And as the game moves on, what we're seeing is we're seeing more inflated stats from every character in the game across the board. Let's take the newest character, for example, that I actually don't even have. Let's take a look at Shunsui here. So you can see his base defense is 148, which is actually really high compared to characters of old that were coming out when Aizen was around. So that's what we're seeing nowadays, is we're seeing inflated stats. So the more and more it goes, the more and more time goes on, unfortunately, the less and less effective Aizen will be getting. So, unfortunately, with taking all of that into consideration, and again, this is probably, my final thoughts here, is with Aizen, you're just getting a ton of damage, but with Noel, you're getting a ton of penetration, and also built-in crit, so she's going to get that crit. So if you can raise her attack high enough with anything, just toss on 2 War Souls that'll increase her attack really, really high, or just increase her base damage really, really high, and you're looking at an absolute monster of a damage dealer. However, once again, if you can do the same thing with Aizen, if you can build a team around Aizen that reduces the enemy's defense enough to where you're doing a ton of damage, I don't know, for example, it's tough to say because even with Rukia, you're reducing the enemy's defense, but it's the back row, and with Aizen, you're attacking the front row. So if you can get somebody that maybe steals the defense, maybe toss on, the Aizen War Soul on Aizen, Butterfly Aizen, and get that extra damage, and you reduce their defense as well, then maybe that'll work. And also other characters as well that'll reduce the enemy's defense as well, like Hinako, for example. Hinako reduces defense, so maybe toss her on the front line. So if you can do that and build a good team around Aizen, I really feel like Aizen could be a better damage dealer than Noel. However, with Noel coming out, with her being the latest release, I just feel like she is the better character. She gives you more because she does more, unfortunately. But once again, it's all completely up to the eye of the beholder. If you invested really heavily into Aizen, if you got him to 7-star and you already have his weapon maxed and at gold, then absolutely, Aizen is 100% the way to go. But if you were like me and you skipped out on Aizen early because you were saving for another character, or you just didn't have enough materials to put into him, then Noel is a really good character as well. Also, you need to consider that Noel is going to pretty much never going to come back to the game. So if you have the chance, get her now because she's not coming back. But anyways, guys, I think that is just about going to wrap this up. I did the best I could breaking down both characters, getting to which character will help you out further down the line, how to build around each character, and I really did go into... I even pulled out battles, best case scenario, 7-star battles from Aizen as well, which was pretty difficult to find. But anyways, guys, I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you make up your mind whether you wanted to invest into Noel or Aizen. Both are very viable, very good characters. Definitely down the road, I feel like Noel may be the better character to have. But both characters are pretty good. They're pretty even, actually, in power, just because right now, Aizen, if you can get his attack power and attack stat so high, then he can really help you out. But anyways, guys, I think that is just about going to do it for this one. If you guys haven't already subscribed and enjoyed this content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. And if you guys would like to talk to me at all, feel free to hit me up on the Discord as well. I will happily talk to you there. It'll be in the description below. And you can also hit me up in the comment section below as well. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. Once again, I did do my best, so I apologize if I didn't answer any questions you guys had, but I did my best. And anyways, guys, I will catch you all in the next video. I will probably have coming out here in the next 24 hours or less. I'm going to be going over Kyoraku. And he is actually looking like a pretty fun character. As you can tell, I've actually already purchased him. So he's looking like a really fun character. We're going to get into that next video as well. Alright guys, once again, that's going to do for this one, and I will catch y'all on the next one.